Are you ready to step into a world of love and wisdom every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Lady Love with relationship coach Joan Kenyon-Woods? Uncover the secrets to lasting connections and thriving relationships. Only on our network, Brand on Demand, right here every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, beginning February 14th, the Love Day. Tune in, grow together. Lady Love, where hearts find their home.
Hello, hello again, and welcome back to Lady Love, where CEO and professional women like yourself find your heart's guardian. My name is Joan Kenyon-Woods, and I am your host. So today, yes, it is Mother's Day, Mother's Day. And I'm excited because I'm trying to put in all of my lights and everything on right now, but it's not happening, but that's okay. I'm excited because Mother's Day is today, or if you're celebrating around the world, it may be a different day, but here in the US is today, and I'm just wearing one of my favorite things that I love to get, which is a beautiful shawl. Is there anything more cozy than being wrapped up in a beautiful warm shawl? And isn't this lovely? How lovely is that, right? And the colors. So drop in the chat or DM me what you think of my shawl today, because I'm wearing it. So Mother's Day, and I'm here for you, my loves, for those of you who are mothers in many other ways to many other people. You're an auntie who is a mom, you're a gran, and you are a mom. And for those ladies out there, my CEOs, professionals, who are looking for that relationship, and you're already a mom, one of the things that's going to be happening in your life going forward is blended families. So today, that's my topic. I'm going to talk about blended families. And what is a blended family? So it's when you or the person, the man you're with, has come to a relationship already with children from a former relationship. So here you are, you have two, you have three. By the way, I have three children, married for 33 years, and they're all grown now, but I love it because they can bring me beautiful gifts like these. And so you go into the relationship and you're bringing your children and he's bringing his. Hopefully, if you were like my mom, and actually it wasn't that great with her, if hopefully your children are all grown and sensible and it all works, because I've found, like my mom, we were young, my parents divorced, and my mom married again, and he had two and she had two, my sister and I, and it was not the Brady Bunch. As you see my title today, and I date myself, but you, my CEO women in your midlife, you know what I'm talking about. The Brady Bunch are back, all right? Or they right again. And so it was a struggle. I remember, his child especially, and daughter was just a terror. She was much younger than my sister and I. So my mom, we were older when they got into the relationship with this man and, her second husband, and his children were just running amok. They really were just out of control. I think he had given all of the parenting role to his former wife. And so he didn't really know what to do with these children. And my mom, too, went into the relationship as if my children are grown. So I really don't even want to, think about how we should manage these children. And so that's some of the things I want to talk about. That first of all, the marriage or the relationship has to be strong enough to withstand. Here you are bringing in lots of different people who have had lots of different backgrounds together. How hard is that, right? So I can remember just coming from England not long before she married this person. So my parents were divorced. We moved to America from England, if you know my story. Big upheaval. Can you imagine just being moved from another country, not just across the country where you live, but to emigrate after divorce and everything else that's going on in your life? I'm young, just out of being a teen, and here we were with a new and different family, a new and different dad. It was devastating. So if you're out there and you are fearful of starting relationships because you have children already, or I hear many women in my program say to me that, oh, I don't know if it's going to work because of his children, or I don't want a man who has children. Now, if you're in midlife and you're looking to find love, more than likely you will find somebody who already has children. And so, how do you make it work? How do you make it work? Well, one of the things that I can recommend is that everyone needs to be respectful of the others. So, you're bringing together two different kinds of parenting style, yours and his. And often they are very different, right? I know that my parents were pretty laissez-faire. It was anything goes, but luckily for them, my sister and I grew up to be pretty well-rounded women. We weren't wild and drinking and all the things that teenagers can and do. And we really didn't do a lot of that. But his children, on the other hand, were like that. And so you had this dichotomy in the house. It was them and us. And, I have to say, often I was away at college and my sister as well. So we really weren't in the house much. So it really was just my mom working through all of those things with her new husband and his children. And so I think understanding how you want to parent together is really, really important. And that is the beginning of everything. Like, how are we parenting? How are we parenting all our children, not just my children and your children? So begin with, are we together on the parenting, scale? Do we come together and believe that what we're doing together is how we want to parent? So you've got to get in your mind and your heart that you get into this relationship with this man who has children, and your parenting style may be different from what he had been doing. So talk lots about that. How do we do this together? Because this is about you and him. It's about the relationship and how it's going to work with all these other people now in the mix and in part of the family, right? Respect has to be really high on the agenda, my love. It is so important that everybody respects the other. I think a lot of that for me was missing because he had a daughter and a son, and my mom had two daughters. So three girls, and one boy in the house. I don't think that little boy respected too much of our boundaries and privacy and so on. So, and it was different now having a brother where we hadn't before. And so just understanding the difference between boys and girls and what they want and expect and how they behave. I mean, this boy was just rough and tumble. And I was pretty much, very girly girl, prissy. My sister, however, was more tomboyish and would play with him and, fall around and wrestle. I was not into the wrestling. No, not at all. And so when you're working with all of your children, his children, it's important to know who each child is and how they are, because you want to really adjust how you respond to each person. And I know that's hard. We say that everyone's is in an individual, and often we want to treat and behave like that to each one, but often they're clumped into one mold, right? All the kids are just the same and so on. But it's important that you get clear then in this blended relationship that everybody is an individual and we have to try to work with who they are. It's important to know your children and his children. That's another thing that happens often is the parents of the particular child often has a tendency, and it's people say it, to treat your children differently. And I mean better than the others. But in a blended relationship that you want to work, it's important that you make sure that you are treating all the children the same. Everybody feels important. Everybody feels loved. Everybody feels that they're a part of that whole family, right? Because I tell you, often I did not feel a part of the family because I wasn't there. I was away in college, doing what I do, my college work. And when I'd come home on the weekend, it just felt like I was intruding. You don't want that. You want the children to feel like, yes, this is home. And I knew it was home, but it wasn't home. Do you know what I mean? Like I felt like I wanted to not be there. I could be there with just my mom, but when her husband was there, and I say her husband because it never became dad to me, that was another problem. That decide and allow the children also to decide how they want to refer to this person. Is it dad? Is it their name? Right? And how do we want to be addressed? Because it's important, right? Often people feel, oh, I don't want to call them dad because they're not my dad, especially if you're grown. You just want to call them their name because now you feel you can because you're old enough to do that. But if your children are younger, decide together. How do we want the children to refer to us? Is it just your names or mom and dad? The compatibility piece is so important, that everybody feels that in this home, I have a place, right? I have a place and I belong there. It takes time. It's not easy and it's not overnight. I know for us, and being in a blended family relationship, it was difficult, to say the least, to really know that everybody was loved by everybody else, right? It took a while because I treated his children, as if they were my brothers and sisters because they were younger. And I felt like, as the oldest of all the four children, it was on me to make sure that they felt like we were a family, right? And so I would take the girl with me, and my sister and I would, make sure she would accompany us on shopping sprees and get her things as well, until she hit teenage years. And then she was on her own because she was doing different things to what we were doing. Yeah, I mean, really different. And so we just allowed her parent to take over. And literally, I think my mom allowed her parent to take over, because it just became difficult. And so one of the things then that is important is the room for growth for everyone. Now we can look back, she's a mom and an adult and everything else. And we can look back and say, yes, great. The son and I talk often. He would come by and we would talk. We went out to eat, things like that. And as you get older, it is easier. It is easier. And you do now understand what it was that you were trying to do. You were bringing people from totally different backgrounds and understandings to mesh together. It's like a workplace or anywhere else in life where people have differences that we have to bring together. But in today's world, my women, CEO professionals, and you're looking for that one, he's going to probably come with the family that you have to blend with. And you may already have a child from a previous relationship or marriage and so on. I work with many women who are moms already. And especially today on Mother's Day, I just want to reach out and let you know that you are loved. Someone is there for you. Blended families can work, but you're going to have to work it. It is really one of the most difficult things that you're going to do in your life. But if he's worth it, then it's worth it. If he's worth it, if he's a man of integrity and moves your heart and is your heart's guardian, then it is worth it to work with those children, to work with whatever he's bringing together. Work it out, because families are here to bring love and joy and everything that we need in our lives that we have worked so hard for. Because once we have everything else in the world, what else do we need but love and support and family and children? And so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid if Mr. Right is coming with a whole bunch of the Brady bunch. It still exists. And today, especially if you're in midlife, it's going to happen. So I want you to be prepared on this Mother's Day that you being a mom already, you're also bringing everything that you are. And I'm sure that your child or your children means so much to you that nothing is going to, mar that or take that away from you. But you can also form a wonderful, loving, supportive relationship with a man who also comes with children. Blended relationships are the wave of the future, I think, because as we get older and women are choosing to have children later, and moving in and out or out of a relationship because of many things, divorce, widowhood, just to leave a relationship that's not working, that you'll find that the family has to reconnect and redefine itself. We know there's many shows and movies about this now, of the blending of many different family cultures and forms. So don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. I want you to embrace the blended family, because today on Mother's Day, it is just the most wonderful thing that we can ask for, that we are given. And the word says it's a gift. Children are a gift to us. I know my three are a gift to me. They're wonderful human beings that I thankfully have raised to become productive, kind citizens. And I'm so proud of them. And I'm proud of you, my sis, because whatever is coming your way with this man of your dream, with your heart's guardian, I know that it is all going to work out for you. So on this Mother's Day, I want to wish you all joy and peace and happiness. And remember to decide what you want, declare it, and watch him deliver for you. Until next time, I wish you an awesome, awesome rest of your Mother's Day. And I will see you next time. And remember, contact me, drop me a note, send me a question you'd like to have answered. I'm here for you. This is Joan Kenyon-Woods. This has been Lady Love. And until next time, be well.